All right, so we're talking about IT maturity, organizational maturity. And it turns out your needs for IT maturity are very similar to, or often similar to, your needs for coffee. What do I mean by that? Well, technology has this certain vocabulary that often gets a lot of people in their heads about how to talk about it, but coffee just doesn't have all of that. People get, yeah, we have a Keurig, or yeah, we have a Mr. Coffee in the corner, or yeah, we have a plumbed in line. We don't pay people to fill water. And those things translate so naturally to have a conversation that what we discovered is we can talk about where your organization is as far as the need for operational maturity of your coffee. And it translates quite well to where you probably are at for the needs for your IT. So when we meet with new clients, we go through this and we understand where do you fit on this roadmap, because it helps paint a really nice picture of what are the problems I should be dealing with at this level, and what are the problems that I can save until we break through that threshold into the next level. So let's go through it. At level one, you're just starting out. Things are ad hoc. You don't need much. Maybe you have a dusty Mr. Coffee in the break room, or maybe you even have people just bringing all their coffee in by themselves, stopping at Starbucks if they want to, whatever. It doesn't matter. Everybody's just trying to help. Same thing with IT. You don't have anything centralized driving what you do. Everything's ad hoc. You might have people bringing in personal devices. You might have people bringing in Macs versus Windows. You might have people on desktops or laptops or tablets. It's all really just being held together with goodwill. It's a patchwork system. But eventually you realize that some of the things that you have could be better. And on the coffee side, what that means is maybe somebody says, hey, I'm going to bring in a Keurig, and then everybody can just make their own coffee. And we no longer have to deal with figuring out, does somebody need another pot, or spending a lot of money at Starbucks. Now you have something at work that's providing a reasonable solution. And it's easy and it's flexible and it's not too expensive, but at some point you're going to run out of K cups, and then someone's making that run to Costco in a hurry to go get those extra cups. Relating that to the IT side, this is where you've got basic IT services. Maybe you've got that one person who's kind of become the de facto go-to for IT things, but it's not really a focus of their job. They just happen to be more technical than the rest of your employees. This is also where you start to see some standardization. So maybe instead of buying whatever's on sale that week when you needed a laptop, we've agreed that we're going to consistently buy the same kind of laptop. Maybe it's HP or Lenovo or Dell, and you buy that same kind every time. And you start to get used to the things that are the same across all of those laptops. From the end user level, like what the buttonology on the front of that thing looks like, all the way through to like, if you have to do a repair or a replacement, it's the same no matter which computer it is, because you're working with the same company. Then you go through what I think is one of the biggest transformations, moving from level 2 to level 3. On the coffee side, this is where that Keurig just can't keep up anymore. You're using a home grade coffee machine in a commercial business. This is where you start to feel that pain of paying people to fill the water thing, because what, you know what? We're a business. Let's just go buy one of those coffee makers that has a plumbed in line. This is also that stage where you've probably got someone who's managing the inventory so that you're prepared when you're getting low instead of reactively running out to Costco. Maybe you've even gotten to that point where you've got a backup machine just in case, so that you're never really fully down and without coffee. You can hear how a lot of those things translate quite well to IT. On the IT side, this is where most businesses start feeling that pain of doing the biggest version of home grade IT. And they realize this is where we now need to pay a little more upfront for the tools that are going to handle commercial level IT or business grade IT. And now we just need to do the small version of business IT instead of that biggest version of home grade IT. You've outgrown break fix. There's enough people standing around twiddling their thumbs at your company if the internet goes down, that you'd rather put money into avoiding it go down than all of that money only going into reactively break fixing it. At this stage, this is usually where you no longer just want some of those security things that you need. You're an adult business now. You've grown up. You need to be putting time and thought into those invisible risks like security and consistency. Level 3 to level 4 is when now you're going to multiple rows, multiple carafes. You now need to be optimizing this system. Maybe someone's whole job has a dedication to keeping the coffee station clean and running, or at least part of their job. They probably manage a line item in a budget that says this is how much we can spend on coffee. On the IT side, the biggest thing that differentiates level 3 from level 4 is this is where you start to need standardization of processes. So, onboarding a new user or deciding who can access what folders in our file share system, like SharePoint or on premise file share. You can't think of every new hire as an individual. You have to start coming up with ways to batch process or group these systems. So you can say, oh, this is another salesperson. I know that all salespeople get the following settings by default, and then you can fine tune for an individual after that. Once you get out of level 4, you're now into that mature operation and everything is already made. And you're not just trying to come up with how do we do this? You're actually optimizing the written down version, the managed version of how things get done. It's all about efficiency and impact. On the coffee side, maybe you've got cold brew taps and a bean of the month club, right? You even have a third party owned and operated Starbucks in your office. On the technology side, I think what helps paint a clear picture of what's going on here is you've gotten so mature that you're not just writing down your policies and procedures, but you're actually paying someone to do the job of going back and looking at a policy that you wrote over 6 months ago, knowing that you agreed, we want to review all our policies within 6 months, and they're raising an actionable flag to say, hey, we got to go back and review this. Even if we're not going to change anything, we've agreed to stay on top of this and make sure that it's constantly being updated, fresh, and new. Additionally, at level 5, this is also where you really see big investments being made into innovation and more like how do I chase value and improving than just focused on stability and security. Understanding where you are in these 5 levels leads to a lot of confidence in what are the problems I should be tackling next. And it really becomes a through line for our clients, understanding where are you today, where you want to be tomorrow, and where are you going long term. Thanks for going through it with me.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.